Have you ever wondered why your electricity bill seems to get higher each month, even when you feel like you're using less? The number at the bottom of the bill still makes your eyebrows raise. And at the same time, you start noticing houses installing solar panels on their roofs. Then the question pops up, are they really that efficient? How much money can they save? And most importantly, how do solar panels actually work? Can they really generate electricity just from sunlight? Or is there some kind of magic behind it? Well, in this video, we're going to break it all down, casually, clearly, and in depth. We'll explain how sunlight turns into the electricity that powers your home. And not only that, we'll also explore why this technology is becoming the energy of the future, why leading countries are racing to expand solar power use, and how we, as everyday users, can play a part too. So we're not just spectators, but also part of the solution. Let's begin with the most basic and crucial question. How does sunlight become electricity? The sun isn't just a source of warmth and daylight. Every second, it releases an unimaginable amount of energy, equivalent to more than 1 trillion nuclear bombs. And part of that energy reaches Earth in the form of light waves, called photons. Photons are the fuel that powers solar panels. Imagine each photon as a tiny energy ball that hits the surface of the panel. And when that energy ball hits certain materials, like silicon, a reaction occurs. That material releases electrons, and this is where the magic starts. Those free electrons can be guided, collected, and turned into a flow of electricity. That's the basic concept. But behind it is an incredibly precise and fascinating technology, like how silicon layers are engineered with microscopic precision, or how electrical circuits are designed to capture that energy efficiently. Interestingly, this isn't new tech. The photoelectric effect was first observed over 100 years ago by a physicist named Heinrich Hertz, and later explained in greater detail by Albert Einstein in the early 20th century. Fun fact, Einstein actually won the Nobel Prize not for his theory of relativity, but for his work on the photoelectric effect. That shows just how significant this science is. So when you install solar panels on your roof, you're actually tapping into a technology with deep scientific roots. Now let's get into the fun part. What's actually inside a solar panel? Imagine a solar panel like a giant sandwich made of multiple layers. The main ingredient is silicon, a chemical element also used in computer chips. Silicon is a semiconductor, which means it can conduct electricity under certain conditions. Typically, solar cells have 2 layers of silicon, one doped with extra electrons, called N-type, and one with fewer electrons, called P-type. When these layers meet, they form an electric field at the junction. Now, when sunlight hits the panel, photons strike the silicon layers. They transfer energy to electrons, knocking them loose. The electric field directs these free electrons in a specific direction. That movement creates an electric current. But there's a catch. The electricity generated is direct current, DC. While most household appliances need alternating current, AC, that's where an inverter comes in. The inverter converts DC to AC, making the electricity usable for homes. Alternatively, it can be stored in batteries or fed back into the public grid using net metering systems. All of this happens almost instantly, the moment sunlight hits the panel surface. Pretty amazing, right? To see the real-world impact, let's take a look at a success story. One of the most famous is Freiburg, Germany. Known as the Green City, Freiburg powers nearly all its homes with renewable energy, mostly solar. Since the early 2000s, the city has adopted aggressive green energy policies. Solar panels were installed on homes, schools, even bus stops. The result? Massively reduced electricity bills for residents, and more importantly, a significant cut in carbon emissions. The local economy also benefited. New jobs were created in solar panel manufacturing and installation. This model was later copied by other cities across Europe. Even countries like India and Kenya are turning to solar energy as a cost-effective solution for rural areas with no access to the main grid. So solar panels aren't just high-tech gadgets. They're also tools for social and economic change. Despite the growing popularity of solar panels, there are still plenty of myths out there. Like the classic, solar panels only work in hot countries. The truth? Countries like Germany and the Netherlands, places with far less sunshine than Indonesia, are among the top users of solar energy because panels still work even when it's cloudy. As long as there's light, even on a gray day, they can generate electricity. Another common myth: solar panels are too expensive. A decade ago, yes, solar was pricey. But in the last 10 years, costs have dropped by more than 70%. In some countries, solar electricity is now cheaper than traditional power. There's also the belief that solar panels are high maintenance. In reality, they require very little upkeep, just occasional cleaning and simple electrical checks. They're built to last, often 25 to 30 years. So most concerns are based on outdated or incomplete info. With proper education, more people can open up to this clean energy alternative. We live in an era of energy crisis and climate change. Every small action we take, even the way we use electricity, has a long-term impact. Solar panels are one of the clearest, most affordable answers to a brighter future, literally and figuratively. Imagine if every home had its own solar power system. Every office building generating its own energy. Even electric cars being charged directly from sunlight. Energy independence is no longer a dream. It's an achievable goal if we start now. The technology is here. The knowledge is within reach. All that's left is the will to act. And it all begins with a simple question. If sunlight is free, why aren't we using more of it? Let's not keep this powerful technology in the hands of a few. Because when everyone has access to clean energy, the world becomes a fairer place. And definitely a greener one. If you enjoyed this kind of content, hit that subscribe button and like to support the channel, and share it with a friend who could use insights.
Let's talk money. Because no matter how futuristic or eco-friendly something sounds, most of us want to know, is it really worth the investment? At first glance, installing solar panels might seem expensive. Depending on your location and power needs, the cost can range from $5,000 to $15,000 or more. But here's the key insight. Solar is a much long-term game. Think of it like buying your electricity up front for the next 20 to 30 years. Instead of paying monthly to a utility company that can raise rates anytime, you lock in your energy costs from day one. In many countries, solar users break even in 5 to 7 years. After that, the energy they produce is essentially free. And don't forget the incentives. Governments around the world are offering tax breaks, rebates, and net metering programs that let you sell excess power back to the grid. It's like turning your roof into a mini power plant that pays you. There's also an increase in property value. Studies have shown that homes with solar systems sell faster and at higher prices. So not only do you save on bills, you're also adding value to your biggest asset. And in developing regions, solar is often cheaper than building new power lines. It leapfrogs traditional infrastructure altogether. That's why in countries like Bangladesh, millions of homes in off-grid villages are powered entirely by solar. It's a revolution that goes beyond savings. It's about access and empowerment. The solar panels we see today are just the beginning. The technology is evolving fast. Scientists are working on materials even more efficient than silicon. One of the most exciting breakthroughs is called perovskite. It's lightweight, flexible, and easier to manufacture. Some prototypes have already surpassed silicon in lab tests. Then there's bifacial panels. They absorb sunlight from both sides, using reflected light from rooftops or the ground to boost power. We also have solar glass, transparent panels that can be used as windows, turning entire buildings into power generators. And let's not forget solar roads and solar paint, concepts that once sounded like sci-fi but are now in early testing phases. Storage is getting smarter too. Next-generation batteries like lithium iron phosphate and solid-state designs are safer, cheaper, and last longer. And with AI-powered smart grids, solar energy can be distributed intelligently based on demand. Imagine your fridge charging when the sun's at its peak, and your lights dimming slightly at night to save power. It's an energy system that learns and adapts. The dream? A world where power is clean, decentralized, and under your control. Not in the hands of monopolies, not at the mercy of fossil fuel markets, but powered by something we see every day, the sun. If you enjoyed this kind of content, hit that subscribe button and like to support the channel, and share it with a friend who could use insights